All right, we continue interview week with another very special guest, another special guest with South Carolina ties, and that is our good friend from ESPN and SC Network, Alyssa Lang. We talk about the Gamecocks team this year, expectations, Shane Beamer hot seat, and also take a look around the SEC and what are the expectations from some of the teams on South Carolina's schedule, and plenty more. So lock in. Locked On Gamecocks starts right now.
You are Locked On Gamecocks, your daily podcast on the South Carolina Gamecocks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris Marler, host of the Locked On Gamecocks podcast, part of the Locked On Sports Podcast Network, now the number one sports podcast network in America. We have you to thank for that, and we have you to thank for today's show. It is interview week. We did a great interview with Shane Beamer yesterday. I hope you guys got a chance to check it out. It was a lot of fun. Got to a lot of stuff about this upcoming year, and we continue on with that same theme throughout the week, but also today with a former Gamecock, and that is Alyssa Lang. So without further ado, let's bring in the fantastic Alyssa Lang. All right, yesterday we had a warm-up, an intro, an opening act, if you will. Shane Beamer. Now the headliner's here. Alyssa Lang, right. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me. You did text me last week, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, totally makes sense, Shane. And then for me, like the real totally sarcastic, by the way.
I think that everyone was very excited about Beamer coming on. It almost felt like from our audience, the comments were like they were almost more excited for me personally getting Beamer on, but everyone's way more excited, at least like from what I've seen, about Alyssa Lang coming on the show. So we appreciate it.
Well, all their checks are in the mail, first of all, but that's also what we do, right? And you know this, like Gamecocks support other Gamecocks, no matter what. So I feel like I could be like, guys, I'm going to be starting the Antarctica Sports Network, and I love it. And South Carolina fans would be like, you go, girl. We're going to be your number one subscribers.
Locked on South Pole. Let's do it.
Locked on Antarctica. Gamecock fans would be my number one subscribers.
Yeah. I'll say one thing. So, I mean, seamless transition. One thing you have not been super supportive of is my Celsius intake. And we're only on number 3 today, but I waited to have it for you specifically.
Marler. Okay, can I tell you something?
I've been up since 5.
This is a 2-part story. So I actually I've never been a soda drinker in my entire life. I'm like shaking my desk.
Yeah, I can tell.
In 33 years, I've never been a soda drinker. Something changed this summer.
Yeah.
I have a mini fridge at my desk.
Those Coke?
Gotta have my Coke.
Just Coca-Cola?
Just Coca-Cola.
Okay, let me.
That's it. That's all. So I never was a soda drinker, and this is gonna sound like the most like American flex ever.
Hell yeah, dog.
We were in Rome this summer, and it was I prefaced it. It was so hot. Yeah. I don't know if that's what it was. I was thirsty. The blood sugars up, but I was like, man, like I've never in my life craved a Coca-Cola before.
Yeah.
And I fought through it because all we were doing was ripping espresso and drinking wine. And then I came back home and I'm like, no, I still am craving.
You didn't have one there?
No.
Well, that's a top
and I've
tier.
heard it's better there.
Yeah.
And so like the second day back, I go through the McDonald's drive-thru. I like just ordered a Coke, like just a medium Coke. That was it. And then I went to Costco and I'm like eyeing the little 36 pack of the minis. And I'm like, am I this person now?
Okay. Let me walk you through this for one. This drives me crazy. We're not going to get to anything on the show.
No, I mean, I figured.
So I have a whole list of questions, but look, this is better. Yeah. The fact that you're bringing this up, I love, for one, because Shane said this yesterday. He was like, I was like, what's your go-to Chick-fil-A order? And he's like, number 1, large fry, large Coke. And I was so disgusted with his large Coke take. It's just like,
wrong with regular, it's not Diet Coke.
Nothing for people with metabolisms. That is an insane order for an adult. I can't even fathom that. How would you put to sleep?
Just a regular Chick-fil-A order, not breakfast, you said?
If you got both. I mean, we have it for later in the show, but you can do it now if you want.
Andy Landers, former Georgia women's basketball coach, he was on with us at SEC Network for a while. Yeah. Used to rip Mountain Dew like no one I'd ever seen. But I also feel like, and he would kill me if I said he knew I was saying this out loud, so I'm going to send him this clip. There's something about old people and like their ability to put down Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Like they can, and they stay like skinny. I don't know. I don't like the Diet Coke. I I'm not a professional by any means, but I've also heard that like the stuff in the diet sodas, even like you might as well just drink the regular.
Don't start with this. I'm not going to do this right now, but I will tell you, it's purely out of jealousy that like, because if I put down, I would just feel I'm just too big. So I would feel icky.
That's why I get the little cans, the tiny cans, just a little taste.
You did kind of like, this is a bad example, and especially on a family-friendly show, but if you were dipping your toe into the drug game as Coca-Cola would go, you went and got heroin right off the bat. The McDonald's Coke is top tier.
I know. And that's where it's been like, 30 plus years of my life where people go, oh, the McDonald's. And I go, I don't know. I'm just not really a soda drinker. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, I got to get some soda. And I'm like, okay, I guess I got to go for the McDonald's. And now nothing is good enough.
No,
now I'm learning about swigs. Have you heard about a swig?
The Mormon stuff?
I thought it was a soda fast
food.
Well,
it's a soda store, but it's popular with Mormons.
Didn't know that. See, I haven't learned enough. But I'm learning that like people are putting like creamer in yeah. I don't think I'm there. I don't think I'm there yet. But you know what? In honor of your Celsius, hey buddy. Hey buddy, cheers.
I love cheers. It's good to have you. The first 6 minutes, we've blown through it. This is fantastic. Fantastic radio. No, I will tell you right now, though, like just last thing, because I'm deep in the soda game, clearly. I already got the reference to the swig thing. That is 64 ounces of Coke with a coffee creamer. That's
insane. No, that's insane.
The next time you've had a little, if you partake in this, you've had a little bit too much to drink the night before, right? And maybe you've got I wouldn't say early morning, but it's before 10:30 and McDonald's is not closed. Go get yourself an Egg McMuffin and a McDonald's Coke. It is life-changing.
I'm a McGriddle gal myself. Like if I'm coming back from a long haul, an overnight flight, there's a McDonald's. I hate this, but there's a McDonald's literally like 500 yards from our house.
Yes.
So on the way back, I have to pass right by it. And that mobile order is too easy. Sausage McGriddle, go home, take a power nap. It's my go-to.
Power nap. All right, let's God, I keep talking about this as well. I've never had a McGriddle, so maybe I need to just I
blame you for this, by the way. I haven't had one in like a week. So I'm like trying to space out my Coca-Cola.
If the noise of opening this triggered that, we got a real problem on our hands. But let's get into the South Carolina stuff. And we, like I said, we talked to Coach Beamer yesterday, and I think it's I keep calling this "I told you so" season because I feel like it's coming around the corner. And I hate that I'm here, Alyssa. I hate that I'm here because you guys have warned me about this in South Carolina. I'm fully in. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is the year.
Yeah.
Give me your ceiling and floor, because I personally think the floor is six wins. And if you could talk me into 5, but the ceiling, I just look at the schedule and I see 2 games that are definite losses, Georgia and Oklahoma, and that's it. Tell me I'm crazy.
I'm pulling up the schedule right now. I should know it off the top of my head. But before I answer that question, I want to go back to what you said a second ago. Like, oh, everybody told you, whatever. I want to tell you this, knowing your unique Alabama roots. I was having a conversation with Roman Harper the other day. We were in studio, and I can't even remember how it came up. But we were talking about handling disappointment as fans. And I was like, okay, whoa. Alabama fans have only had so much disappointment over the last 10 plus years, right? Compared to like a South Carolina fan, for example. Like, I'm not even talking about like the Shane Beamer era. It's just like
in general.
Since I became a Gamecock back in 2010, it's already been a lot, right? And I said, like y'all aren't even calloused in like the disappointment and then like, it's been a fun year. Like y'all are just still mad. You don't have any kind of you can't even get a pedicure because there's nothing there. There's nothing. You're still so raw with the anger where we go, we know. We know. We've been here before. Okay. So let's look at the schedule. You said Georgia and Oklahoma were the 2 games. Those 2 games worry me.
Yeah.
I think every South Carolina fan knows this, but the Mississippi State game to me is like one of the most important games on the schedule. Not just because it's the first SEC game. Obviously, that's part of it. I think Mississippi State is a lot better this year, or they should be, based on what we saw last year. Like, I was getting ready for media days, going back through, and I had a couple of these games last year. There were 3 games that Mississippi State could have easily won. The Tennessee game,
Texas was one of them.
Florida game, and the Texas game, right? we're talking about a totally different 2025 for them if the ball bounces their way.
Yep.
Now, it didn't, right? Like coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Right.
But that's not a bad football team anymore. I'm interested you didn't say Alabama. I don't know how to feel about Alabama this year. I think just naturally going to Tuscaloosa scares me. But I'm with you. I mean, as far as the games where I go, okay, if you're forcing me to pick,
right,
I would give Georgia and Oklahoma the nod purely based on what they bring back. Mississippi State scares me. Florida in Gainesville scares me.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. I do think that there will be some first-year head coaches that we see on the schedule that could throw a team out there that you're going, oh, wait a second.
Right.
Okay, we thought maybe a year one Kentucky should be an easier game.
Yeah.
I think that Stein is going to have a better team than people
I agree with that.
Are looking at on paper.
So real quick on that, I think one of the reasons I don't have Bama on there is one, they should have beaten them arguably each of the last 2 years. Last year, especially. Now, the other thing with Bama is that like they're very thin in the trenches, and you're not going to overlook that game. But you have a possibility of overlooking Kentucky or Mississippi State,
Correct.
and then you're in trouble. Because I'm with you. I don't know what to expect from Kentucky. I do think they're the most mysterious team in the league.
Very mysterious.
Great, or they could be, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through this. So Kent State, Towson. Let's play optimistic and say it's a home game. It's in Columbia. Mississippi State is a win. Let's say you go to Tuscaloosa and that's a loss. So that's 3-1. Kentucky, you're at this point. It's at home. That's got to be a win. That's 4. Florida's a toss-up.
Yeah.
As far as like not knowing what Florida's going to look like. Same with Tennessee. But I'm stocked down on Tennessee this year.
Really?
Yeah. I maybe stock down's not right. I don't know what to think yet about Tennessee because of the amount of question marks that we have. I don't know. We had to power rank the SEC, and I think it's going to be coming out. It could be coming out while we're on the show. Yeah. I think Tennessee fans might show up at my front door because of how low I have them ranked.
There. And where do you have? I know, or is it we have to wait?
Yeah, I'll break some power ranking news. I actually, this is how psychotic I am and CD, Chris Doring. I'm like actually losing sleep about where I ranked Tennessee. I'm like, am I crazy? Like, is this bad? Yeah. And so I texted him this morning and I sent him all my rankings. I said, where did you rank Tennessee? I'm losing sleep over it. I don't want to share what he's, circle of trust, whatever. I have them at 13. Now, this is not a prediction. This is just a like right now what we think about these teams going into the season. I have in the top 3 spots above them, I have Florida, Vanderbilt, and Mississippi State.
Okay, so where's South Carolina?
8.
Okay, I'm fair with that. Like that feels fair. I think they can play their way into being higher.
I think so too. And like honestly,
once Tennessee.
What'd you say?
Vandy ahead of Tennessee is surprising.
Vandy went to their place last year and beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they beat the brakes off of them.
Right? And like both teams have lost pieces, but like we don't. You just went to Neyland the last time we saw you in a conference game and beat the brakes off of them. And the talent that Tennessee fans are excited about returning, rightfully so, was on that team.
Right.
Like there was part of that team. So I just Tennessee is confusing to me. The fans are going to be mad. All the teams that I ranked above Tennessee, and really that's kind of how I did it, outside of the top 5, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, Alabama, that's top 6. Everybody else is like teams I have questions about. Yeah. I don't really know that I trust the next crop of talent until we see them. And Tennessee just kind of, by nature of not knowing who the hell is going to be throwing the football, is a concern for me.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know. And you could say the same thing about Florida, but I'm excited. I'm excited about Florida staff. I'm excited about what they bring back, and maybe I'll eat my words. I don't know.
That's
not
fair.
That this was supposed to be a Tennessee conversation, but
I gotta be selfish here. Can we do 10 more minutes? Because we ate up the first show.
Yeah. I have a whole mini Coke to drink.
I just love that this is now your journey.
They're like wearing a red shirt and everything. Like,
it's a whole. And man, there's so much more we could get into, especially with the overseas Coke, because it's fantastic. They don't freeze them or like put them in cold they're usually like they're cold enough just to be like hurtful. They're like
overseas.
Yeah, there's like a sting to them
Oh.
because they're still kind of lukewarm.
So like, and I am a person who, if I'm going to drink something that is supposed to be a cold beverage, it needs to be colder than
anything.
It needs to be glacier type temperature.
Okay.
I mean, I wake up and I chug ice water, and my best friend and my husband say it's serial killer behavior, but I don't know. I need it to be so cold. Like, I need to feel it.
I did this to us, but we got to get back off the Coke conversations. This is my own fault. I'm trying to lock in here, but I have so many takes on this.
You said 6 wins is the floor, and I think that's valid. Like, I think that's valid. And I know South Carolina fans are so tired of hearing this,
right?
But I maybe feel this more than ever. Like, cautious optimism, I feel like just describes how I feel about this season. It's just we all sit here and know what this team, what this quarterback should be able to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of other things at stake, but I think the biggest difference is the offensive coordinator this year.
I am very excited about Kendal Briles. And what's interesting too is being around the SEC and like, I mean, I'm obviously in my office over here in Baton Rouge and the weird little unique setup I have, but like we've been in like, pressers with Kiffin, and he's organically brought it up multiple times about how important Briles has been to him. Like, not like, oh, it was great, having him under my tutelage or whatever else. And but this is what he brought to our offense. I will say, I think that if I told you that South Carolina was closer to having 5 wins or they were closer to having 9 wins, which one would you lean towards?
Are you asking me as a South Carolina fan or me as
both? Because I look at it and it's like,
as a South Carolina fan, I think 99% of us would be like, oh, 5.
right away.
Like, Gamecock fans know what I'm saying.
You should see the comments every episode. That's like, just wait, brother. Just wait. I'm like, I like it this year though. I think it's gonna be good.
Closer to 5 or closer to 9. I mean, that, and it's not just South Carolina. That is the beauty and the nightmarish quality of this league is that at the drop of a hat, you could go either way. You could close out October thinking, oh, this is a national championship contender CFP team. And then like the opposite happened to us a couple years ago when you close out the season with the win at Clemson after the LSU debacle. Like, that was a national championship team at the end of the season. At the beginning, no one would have thought that. I don't know. I mean, I look at the games that are like must win them if you want to be in that conversation. And you got to sneak a road game. So Alabama at Oklahoma, Georgia comes to Columbia, South Carolina goes to Clemson. I have no idea what I think Clemson's going to look like this year. I mean, if you can get through the month of September with a win against Alabama, I mean, Marler, I'll be insufferable, first of all, but I will obviously feel a lot differently. I feel like Mississippi State's going to answer a lot of these questions.
I agree with you. I was not expecting to be this cautiously optimistic. I will tell you right now, I think Florida is the week before the wedding.
October 10th.
Okay, so 2 weeks before.
Okay.
If South Carolina goes and wins that game into 6-0, I will take some of the honeymoon money, fly to Charlotte, and come into the studio, and we can be insufferable together to Crystal.
I mean, it's gonna be absolute. I mean, and if we be the Gators, like Doring is gonna be he will be involved in the insufferability of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like I could say we on Locked On Gamecocks. So
I haven't spoken to him since media days, but I was giving him a hard time because he went and saw the team practice, and he was like, he's kind of said he's been ahead of schedule on this. Like some of the stuff he made a comment about this a couple years ago. I think it's a perfect way to describe South Carolina, and it's the way he described Florida a few years back, which was I wasn't high on Florida going into a year, and he goes, but to be fair, you weren't high on them last year when they had some of these guys and they won this many games. I understand that South Carolina didn't win a ton of games last year, but there's the talent's there, and so I think that when you look at putting this whole thing together, it is more so coaching this year, which I think they've done a good job with the staff.
Yeah.
But ESPN, your company, put out a thing yesterday about the tiers of NFL prospects. And it's tier 1 is like Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, Notre Dame. And then tier 2 is Georgia, Ole Miss. I want to say Miami.
This is like
South
for
Carolina.
this year?
Yeah, in South Carolina. It was like 7 prospects, potential 3 first-rounders. And so it is a lot to be excited for. I want to go back to what you said about Clemson real quick, and then I promise we're going to get you out of here because we talked about nothing for 20 minutes, which is just chef's kiss. I'm
sorry, everybody.
No, I've had a great time. So I think that if you look at let me sell you this pitch first, okay? You have probably spent between $8 and $10 million on 4 players this year: Peak, Sellers, Stewart, and Harbor. They're all going to be gone. And now you can go reinvest that money into players in the portal and players out of high school. So like you already saw him get Josh Dobson, 5-star kid out of Charlotte. You have a chance this year to really parlay this year's success, if you have it, into building the future.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you and take away the conferences they play in, but just the trajectory of these programs, if I was asking you to buy stock for the next 3 years, starting this year, between Clemson and South Carolina, what would you do?
And there are going to be people, maybe not necessarily regular listeners, but I just think based on the SEC, South Carolina gets the nod in that category. But then you look at everything else and you go, okay, there's a lot of conversation about what Dabo does this year, right? Yeah. And if Dabo ends up making a run to a college football playoff, maybe that noise quiets down. But is the question not is he losing it? He won't go in the transfer portal, all this stuff.
Yeah.
South Carolina, to me, feels like it has more of a reputation, right or wrong, for being a more futuristic type of program as far as leaning in. Again, I think Clemson has slowly started to do that, but that's long been the knock in this era. I'm buying stock on South Carolina always. And I think that I want to go back. I remember when the coaching cycle was happening where Shane got hired.
Right.
And I remember colleagues of mine, people in the business saying, well, who are you going to get? It's South Carolina.
I am so tired of hearing
South Carolina. And I remember being so what? What was anything before Bear Bryant or Nick Saban or anybody? What was any program before that? What was Indiana before last year? And I think that while everyone talks about Indiana is the worst thing that could have happened for coaches, sure, because he's shown you that you can do it in just a couple of years, but it's the best thing that could happen for the non-blue blood brands.
Yeah.
What is stopping South Carolina, which has all of the resources that you would need in the middle of the best conference when it comes to churning out NFL draft picks, like you said? So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's also you could rebuild for the future, but, the future is also now with that type of talent, right? What are you doing with it now? It's sort of like Texas with Arch. If you don't win this year, what does next year look like when we've invested all this time and money and we have all this talent? Yeah.
I will tell you this, and we'll get into rapid fire and get on out of here. And thank you again for the time. This has been awesome. I'm so glad.
Stop thanking me. You're my friend. This is fun.
So I'm not comparing these two coaches because one of them is, I don't know the word, incomparable. Is that a word? That feels
that's a word. Yeah.
Saban, before he got to LSU, do you know how many winning seasons LSU had in the previous 11 years?
No, I don't. But wasn't Saban's record? Wow.
3 in 11 years. I mean, so before he got there, again, I'm not comparing those two, but it's that, what do you call it? That.
Wow, you'd be kicked out of our team meeting.
That was, I got an email I got to blast out here in 15 minutes. Summerall. Dude, that poor photographer. Were you in the room for that?
Dude, I love Summerall. It was a joke. Everyone was freaking out. What a jerk. I was come on. Everyone needs to lighten up.
He's lugging all of his photographer stuff up there. I was just crying. I mean, I think Summerall's going to be great. And I think he did a great job at that. It was weird. He got a standing ovation, or not a standing ovation, but he got a round of applause.
Did he? I think I missed that.
He came out on stage and they were like, I'm by no means a big J journalist, but even I knew that was wrong. I was
it is funny. We're at media days and typically I think it's almost like a knee jerk, a reaction that when you announce someone on a stage, everyone starts clapping. So it almost is bizarre to me that there is not applause.
Right.
But then I'm like, oh yeah, it's media days. We don't do that here. But like it is kind of like the poor guys just walk up. Silence.
They don't play the music anymore either. So I would have forced so many jokes into that little 30 seconds. It would have been awful. It would have been awful.
So funny. No, but what you said about Saban, like, yes. And that's where I get so sick of like, oh, only these certain programs who are at the top of college football are allowed to win. Who do the rest of you think you are for wanting to think you can win? And I'm always like, what are we doing with those conversations? So yeah, I remember feeling that way about South Carolina then, and I feel that way about South Carolina now. And people go, well, why do you think you can win? And it's like, oh, why did Indiana think they could win a season ago? Why does anybody think they can win? Like, what do you mean?
No, I agree with that.
What are we doing?
Okay, rapid fire.
Okay.
I guess 6 questions for you.
Okay.
Let's start. 1, go-to Chick-fil-A order.
Okay, I have, that was my first job. I worked at Chick-fil-A.
Same.
We seem like Chick-fil-A kids, don't we?
I got
in trouble once for opening the drive-through. I was wearing the headset. I'm taking the drive-through orders, and then the beep, and then you say, thank you for choosing Chick-fil-A. How may I serve you today?
Right.
I said, thank you for choosing Chick-fil-A, where the chicken is kicking and the cow is king. How may I serve you? And my manager on the shift was like outside taking the trash out. He came back in and goes, we're not going to do that anymore.
I love that.
That's good. Do that. I am a tenders gal. I like the tenders. It's been like a new development for me.
Strips?
The strips. Yeah. The chicken strips. And I go Chick-fil-A sauce, but for the fries. And then I've long time been a Powerade gal because I've not been a soda drinker, but now times they are a changing.
Well, here's a fun fact for you. Powerade Gatorade, it's 11 times worse for your teeth enamel than Coke. Fun fact. Read that in a Men's Health in 2005. Stuck with me for 20 years.
There's no way that research is held up. There's no way that's held up.
What's changed since 2005? I'm sure it's the same.
Nothing.
Okay. Bucket list concert.
Oh, okay. Hot take. This is supposed to be rapid fire. I'm doing terribly. Hot take. I am not a concert gal.
Okay.
But I did just go to the Hillary Duff concert in Charlotte, and that was a very kind of close bucket list for me. Like, it takes a lot for me to want to go to a concert. I just have a thing about just having to get there and all the people and the lines and the bathroom and the drink. I don't know, just one of those things. But Hillary Duff was a top one. I would say if they ever do it again, the Metallica at Lane Stadium. I would love to go back and actually do that because they did it last spring or something, and it was awesome. It looked awesome.
I saw them at Bonnaroo. It was BB King, Metallica, Pearl Jam, and Kanye. And I was like,
wow,
what a night! What a weird night.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously this is for Coach yesterday and talking about what are you listening to on game day. Probably a little bit different, but when you're in the morning going to your shoulder workouts that everyone seems to love on social media, what are you listening to? What's in the AirPods?
When I'm on the way to work, when I'm on the way to the gym, usually I am reaching for something by Waka Flocka. I love Waka Flocka.
Okay.
Nothing fires me up more than 15th and the 1st by Waka Flocka. In fact, that would probably be my walkout song if I played softball, baseball, whatever. If you turn that song on while you are driving, you can't, not safe for work, not safe for children. It's Waka Flocka, obviously.
Okay.
To me, that song just load up the bar, and I'm ready to squat.
Okay, love it. If you weren't doing this job, what would you be doing?
Chick-fil-A
still?
Would you say Chick-fil-A? Yeah, actually, I mean, I probably could have worked up the chain there and enjoyed that. I think that I would be doing interior decorating, interior design. I really like to decorate my house and find cool art and furniture and things like that. Yeah. This is actually the worst looking room
it's
in
brand
my house,
new though,
which I spend the least time up here. So I just have a poster of the great Carolina fried chicken map behind me. That's it. That's This is my favorite poster, though. It's like
Chicken is kicking.
Like the birthplace of chicken all through the Carolinas. But yeah, I end up spending a lot of money when I get bored. And so I would love to, like, on home stuff. And then I would love to spend other people's money decorating their home instead of throwing my money away on wallpaper.
Okay, that's fair. Busy off season. I don't think there is an off season for you, but is there a show maybe when you were in Rome that you and the husband were able to binge this off season?
Oh, I don't know if we've binged much, but I will say I saw a classic movie for the first time this summer because of our trip. The fantastic 2001 film Gladiator.
Yes.
I had never seen it before.
Okay.
And when we went to Rome, I came across one of those social media posts that was just kind of like curated because I'm talking nonstop about Rome. The Roman opera is doing one of those live concerts of the movie Gladiator, where, like, they play the music while the movie was in Italian. They had it dubbed over with English subtitles. So I was like, all right, well, I got to watch the actual English movie first. So we were sitting in the Circus Maximus, which I did not know existed until we went to Rome, but it's much bigger than the Colosseum. 250,000 people it sat for chariot races. Yes. Like, we're talking like the OG Death Valley.
Yeah.
Circus Maximus. Yeah. We're sitting there like in the shadows of the Colosseum watching Gladiator while the Roman opera does the underscores and the vocals. And it was the coolest movie watching experience I'll ever have. It was.
I love that I asked you bucket list concert earlier. Like, I don't know, Hillary Duff and Charlotte, and then you give me the best concert you could have ever gone to.
I guess it's a concert, but like to us, it was like it's like a movie, but not really a concert. I don't know.
You said you told the coolest story ever. You're like, I don't know. I saw Lizzie McGuire at PNC Bank Park. Like, what? It's like
both Roman staples, if we're being honest, because the Lizzie McGuire movie, was
in history.
That was prescribed viewing for Trevor before we went. So I said,
all right,
understand the Trevi Fountain.
Minute 32 of this.
Yeah.
Last question, I swear to God, and we'll get you out of here. Best wedding advice you can give me.
Ooh, God, so many pieces of wedding advice I could give you. I'm thinking like day of. Oh my God. I didn't invite anyone that I hadn't met before. Like,
you actually followed this.
Did you? Okay,
yes,
that's the best. I already gave you that piece of advice.
Yeah, good call.
And that was the best thing I could have ever done. So any like parents out there or anyone, we did not meet anyone for the first time at our wedding. And it made it such an intimate experience. It was so much fun. And don't forget to eat. Everybody says that, but don't forget to eat. It really is important. And bring a Celsius. I actually had my brother go run and get me a Celsius during the reception. I was so tired.
I don't think I'll have to worry about that. We're going to be good. Lang, you're incredible. I appreciate it. Do not leave yet, because I'm going to tell you a Waka Flocka story off air that it's not suitable for work. But I appreciate you so much for coming on. Go Cox, and we'll do this again soon.
Thanks, Marler.